What's going on, people? Real quick, I want to share something that I learned and I wrote down. I thought was actually interesting to share. I call it faith in the silence on a spiritual journey. Um, and It's kind of a little chilly out here. I'm out and outside and it's cold, so if I start to um, wipe my nose, don't mind me. Um, I'm not the greatest speaker, but I do know I love God. So I don't mind saying or sharing how I feel, because even though it may sound wrong to you, to the right ears, they will understand it. Every statement, word, belief, experience, or message is not going to resonate with some, and some it will. The person who catches anything that teaches them or improves them in growth and advancement was meant for them to catch it, understand it, interpret it, and learn from it. God gives people talent, creativity, personality, and love. These are all key components, because when you do stuff out of love, you can appreciate it more. In his time, as he begun his journey, knowing and being in a position of a teacher, and you identify behaviors and mentalities in others that will help them navigate challenges in their life to become more purpose focused and build their personal relationship with the Creator, the Lord. Um, a question that I asked myself through my learning was, how do you think Jesus felt knowing that his responsibility and facing the challenges he did, especially in the beginning, like growing into his purpose and responsibility? I often ask myself, like, how was he feeling, or what was he thinking? After Jesus grew more into his purpose, more people noticed him. He got more attention from people. His kind of attention was on another level, because he got wanted attention and unwanted attention. So now he's in the spotlight, and ask yourself, did Jesus want the kind of spotlight we all heard he got from the information we all know he got at the time at the time he was here? Another question I ask myself is, how do you think Jesus dealt with those experiences behind closed doors? We know he prayed, but as a man, knowing his love for people and having those experiences. So it's like, all the stuff, all the things that he experiences is like he had feelings also. You understand? And those feelings were tough in his decision making, and which meant he had to go seek God. He had to pray more. Going into a teacher position, Jesus had followers and students, which we all call them disciples. Through their growth, we have to assume they made mistakes, but Jesus knew trials, tribulations, growth, and learning, embracing lessons through learning and lessons through challenges. We have to know that Jesus' love is that we have to know that Jesus was, and always will be great. So he understood that learning and becoming or growing into your purpose, you are going to face and encounter challenges, and sometimes you navigate choices through them, through your experiences. You're not always going to get them right. Through your relationship with the Lord, you ask him to give you strength with things you are challenged with in life, and allow you to understand the lessons in them. Jesus had to have patience with his students because he identified their level of growth and the process and learning in their growth. Healing through experiences can really help on your journey, because things you need to heal from does impact decision making big time. So if we are not completely healed, it can also lead to negative decision making, which is not okay with the Lord. So it's important that you grow from the lessons and try to get in a good heart space. Knowing how great Jesus is, I often wonder how he felt behind closed doors. with people he was just being himself with. Like, you know, the closest people to him was, which is his disciples. And not to say that he was a different person, but in a sense of relationship in which those people know other aspects of Jesus that we may not know of. You know, like him having a personality and being funny and stuff like that. You know, that side of him would have been interesting. Which he does have a personality. Through that, I would have liked to know at what point of Jesus' life was he most happiest throughout from all the information that we know. I often ask myself these questions because you know, it's interesting. The people who love Jesus, you know, it's an interesting perspective and way of thinking. And only people who can relate to that will understand that. And hopefully others can grow into that understanding also. People should strive to be more like Jesus. Many of us are not going to live up to being 100% like Jesus, but we can do our best to be more like-minded, like-hearted, and give our best effort in service. And sometimes simple approaches make big impacts. So I thought I'd share that of what I learned. I thought it was interesting. So salute.